guys, welcome back to Storybook Crochet. In today's video we are going to be making these little roses. These are super easy and quick to make, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I will be using an H hook today and the I Love This Cotton brand from Hobby Lobby, but you could use any thickness or weight of yarn with a hook that goes well with that yarn. You can experiment with this, use a thicker yarn, use thinner yarn, and see what sizes you like of these roses. So you'll want to grab your yarn, your hook, some scissors, and a yarn needle, and we will get started. Okay, so let's grab our yarn and our hook. To get started with these roses, we're going to make a chain in a multiple of 10. So it just depends on the size of rose that you want. You can do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. You can keep going and make a really big rose if you want to. So I am going to, for this video, I'm going to chain 30, and this is the size that comes out with the worsted yarn in the H hook. So go ahead and make your chain in the number that you are wanting, and then I will show you how to start making the petals. Okay, our next step, once we have our chain in a multiple of 10, again I did 30 for mine, we're going to want to work into that second chain from our hook, and we're going to make a single crochet into that chain. Okay, so once you have that single crochet made, the next step, and this will be the pattern that we repeat across this chain, is you're going to chain 2, and then we're going to skip the next chain, and we're going to make a single crochet in the chain after that. Alright, so that makes a little chain space right there that we will work our petals into. So I'll show you that again. You're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, skip the next chain, and single crochet in the one after that. And we're going to repeat this process all the way across our chain. Chain 2, skip the next chain, single crochet in the chain after that. So go ahead and work these chain spaces all the way across till the very end of your chain, and then I will show you how to turn, and we'll start making our petals after that. Okay, so this is what our chain spaces should look like at this point. We have come to the end of row 1. So for row 2, we are going to chain 2, and we are going to turn our piece over. Okay, so depending on how many chains that you did will depend on how many double crochet petals that we do. So you're going to want to find where 1/3 of your chain is. So I'm going to do 5 double crochet petals, and then after that I'm going to do 5 half double crochet petals, and then finish off with single crochet petals. So just figure out how many approximately would be 1/3 of your flower here. So to start your double crochet petals, we've got our chain 2. We're going to put 3 double crochets into that first chain space. You're just working straight into the chain space. So 3 double crochets. Alright, once you have your 3 double crochets made, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to slip stitch into that same chain space. And that finishes off our first petal. Okay, so your next step, you're going to slip stitch into the next chain space and chain 2. And we're just going to repeat that same process for each petal. So like I said, I'm going to make 5 double crochet petals. So I'll show you one more real quick. So we have our chain 2. We're going to do 3 double crochets into that chain space. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to slip stitch into that same chain space. That finishes off petal number 2, and then we'll slip stitch into the second chain space, and we will continue with that same pattern across. So go ahead and make your double crochet petals in the same way, however many you need across, and then we will be back and I will show you the half double crochet petals. Alright, so here are my 5 double crochet petals, and next we will start our half double crochet. So go ahead and slip stitch into that next chain space, and this time we're just going to chain 1, we're going to put 3 half double crochets into that chain space. Alright, once your half double crochets are made, chain 1 and slip stitch into that next, or that same chain space. Okay, and then slip stitch into the next chain space. I'll show you that one more time. Chain 1, half double crochet 3 times, chain 1, slip stitch into the same chain space. Okay, so I'm going to make 3 more half double crochet petals. Yours will depend on how long your chain is, and we will meet back and finish off with our single crochet petals. Alright, so I have 4 chain spaces left, so I'm going to make 4 single crochet petals. So slip stitch into that next chain space, chain 1, and make 3 single crochets into your chain space. Chain 1 and then slip stitch into the same chain space, slip stitch into the next, and you're just going to repeat that process across till the very end of the chain. Alright, so our crocheting part of our rose is done, so we're going to want to cut a longer tail here so that we can sew the rose together. So go ahead and finish that off. The first step we're going to do is to weave in this short tail right here. So I just come up through this very first petal that we made a couple of times just to secure that short tail right there. Go ahead and cut that off. Okay, so the key to being successful with sewing this together is to go ahead and thread your needle in the long tail before we form our rose here. That way you don't have to put it down while you're holding it to thread that. Okay, so we're going to start with our small petals, and what you're going to do is wind them up. So you want that original chain to be flat on the bottom. So this was what it will look like on the bottom when it's finished. So you're going to wind it up, spiraling it around. Make sure you don't get that tail in the way, so that the bottom is flat. Okay, and that's what that will look like, and you can kind of turn it over and see what the rose will look like if you've got your placement right. So then you can just grab your needle since it's already threaded, and what I do is I just go across the chains here, grabbing all of the chains across with my needle and just thread it through. And then I'll just keep doing that all the way around. So just kind of work your way around in a circle there, grabbing all the chains across on your way. And just do that until you have worked your way all the way around, and then I will show you how to finish off at the very end. Okay, so the very last thing I do is this first big petal that we made, it kind of flops there, so I sew the side of that down as well. So you can go through a couple times through the side of that, just so it holds it a little bit better. So here is our finished rose. Now if you're going to sew this onto something, you'll want to leave this long tail and use that to sew it onto whatever project you're working on. If you want to weave that in, just go through that back petal right there and weave it in a couple times to finish it off. I also have a leaf pattern if you want to add leaves to your roses, and I will put that link down in the description below for you if you want to add that to your project. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this tail off here, and our rose is finished. Super quick, easy pattern. You can make a ton of these. You can make a little bouquet. Use these as appliques for a project. Let me know down in the comments below what you used your roses for, or what you plan to use them for, and what colors you made your roses. I would love to hear from you. I like to read all the comments that you guys add to my videos. Thank you for watching me today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll see as soon as I have a new video up. I have 2 more Valentine's videos coming up this week, so you want to make sure you stay tuned for that. So thanks for joining me in making our roses today, and I will see you in the next video.